This is a bookball summary of the book Kaizen by Harvey. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution only to break it in the second week? You are not alone if you find it difficult to adapt to your routine. Changing habits can be scary when you're taking a leap into the dark. The Kaizen approach focuses on taking slow and steady steps forward to conquer this natural fear. Originally developed in Japan, this philosophy encourages continuous improvement to achieve lasting change. You'll learn how to use Kaizen techniques to achieve ambitious goals in your life by changing small habits. Number 1. Kaizen values incremental growth. You sign up with a hypnotherapist to beat your sugar addiction, but the following week you find yourself at a vending machine, begrudgingly pressing for a candy bar. We live in a culture that expects instant results, so take one small action at a time to transform your habits. Kaizen, a Japanese word for change, originated as a business theory created by the US government to help Japan reboot its economy after World War II. It was used by many Japanese companies, most notably Toyota. Ironically, by the 1980s, Japanese companies were doing so well that it gave American businesses reason to fret. So, Kaizen returned to the US as an organisational theory in a book titled Kaizen, The Key to Japan's Competitive Success by Masaki Imai. In his book, Imai encourages managers to set short, medium and long-term goals around 4 criteria: business growth, product quality, customer service and staff motivation. Additionally, every employee, from the receptionist to the CEO, is invited to contribute suggestions for ways to improve. The emphasis is always on long-term goals and continuous improvement through small changes. As Imai acknowledges, Kaizen has wider applications far beyond the business world. Whether you want to adopt a healthier lifestyle, get better at saving money, or rethink your career, Kaizen can set you on the path to success. But first, you have to know where you stand. Number 2, analysing your existing behaviour can help you identify the habits. According to Ben Gardner, senior lecturer in psychology at King's College London, our brains lock in repeated behaviours to preserve mental resources necessary for bigger, more important tasks. The downside of locking in behaviours becomes obvious when we want to change them. Analysing your existing behaviour can help you identify the habits you want to make or break. Start by making an inventory of your life and asking yourself whether you're doing the most you can to achieve happiness in each area. If the category is your career, and you only have a vague sense that you're unhappy in your job, break it down into parts. For example, researching, administration, networking, and write down what you love or hate about each part. Take your time with your answers and be honest with yourself. Maybe you'll find the real problem is a lack of work-life balance. Rather than just listing what you're unhappy with, you'll be more motivated if your inventory also includes new challenges you want to try. Are there any activities you wish you'd never abandoned? Or maybe a physical challenge you've always aspired to? Do a brainstorm of activities you feel drawn to. Number 3, your first commitment should be so small you barely notice any difference. Sir David Brailsford got the British cycling team to break down every aspect of cycling into small parts and aim for 1% improvements. This generated a contagious enthusiasm among the once struggling team. Human motivational system is chaotic because people don't experience immediate rewards from good behaviour. Kaizen techniques are effective at changing habits. The first small step to achieving your goal should be the smallest, most easily achievable step you can make toward your goal. For example, if you want to eliminate meat from your diet, could you start being vegetarian for 2 nights per week rather than 1? Or could you add 1 more vegetarian recipe to your regular meal routine? The change should be so small that you barely feel its impact. If you want to pick up a physical habit like running, first walk your route, then gradually introduce short runs. Number 4, set a time frame for your short, medium and long-term goals. But after you've established your goal and first Kaizen step, where do you go from there? Well, once you have a long-term goal, the next Kaizen step is to break it down into smaller, shorter and medium-term goals. Not only will breaking your goal down into chunks make it seem more manageable, but it'll also help you plan your actions around a clear time frame. Let's say your long-term goal is learning a new guitar piece. Then you can allocate 5 minutes each day to practicing a part of it. This would be your medium-term goal. Following the contagious enthusiasm approach of Brailsford's cycling team, you'll likely want to increase the duration of how long you practice each day until you're able to play the piece well. If you want to incorporate continuous habits into your life, such as eating more healthily or picking up a hobby, it's especially important to have a way of measuring progress. So, if your goal is to take up yoga, then you can make it measurable by writing down, "I want to participate in one yoga class every week." So, if you find yourself feeling overspent along the way, then instead of increasing the duration of your practice, make it even smaller. The important thing is to keep a close eye on where you're stepping as you go. Number 5. Monitor your habits closely and review your progress regularly. Hani Motoko, the woman known as Japan's first female journalist, believed that keeping on top of one's finances was essential to happiness. So, in 1904, she invented a journaling method known as kakebo, intended to help women at the time keep track of spending. Motoko stressed the need to physically put pen to paper as a mindful way to process what you spend. She encouraged checking in with the ledger monthly to analyse how your spending is progressing and to inform which goals to concentrate on the following month. Not only is it motivating to look back over previous weeks and months to see how your behaviour has changed, but it also brings into focus things where you need to improve. One way to do it is to turn the page of your notebook horizontally and write the days of the month along the top, leaving a blank column at the side. In that column, list whatever goals you have in bullet points. If you achieve the habit on a given day, mark it by colouring in the corresponding horizontal space. If you aren't journaling, you can simply keep bullet points in a note-taking app on your phone. In fact, your smartphone can be a great resource for tracking progress thanks to the countless apps available for measuring habits, including how many steps you walk in a day or the quality of your sleep. Use whatever works best for you, as long as you're using a method to track the habits you're committing to changing. This will help you pinpoint what you'd like to change during the next month. Number 6. Kaizen is a personalised approach to a lifelong change. Let's assume you allocate an hour per week to your new activity. It goes well for a few weeks until, one day, you get some bad news. Your apartment contract isn't going to be renewed as planned. Faced with this distressing new reality, it's likely that you're going to have to put your sketchbook down for a while. But distressing situations like a sudden house move or job loss can make it easy to stray from the path of change. No matter the situation, beating yourself up for not reaching your goals is completely unproductive. According to various studies, it can take anywhere between 18 to 254 days for a behaviour to become automatic. The beauty of Kaizen is that it's a flexible and personalised approach to lifelong change. So be mindful of what works for you. Staying aware of your feelings and behaviours will help you identify when it's time to step back. If you are not meeting short-term goals, simply return to the smallest possible action you can take instead. If you're feeling too down to go for a 5-kilometre run, for instance, go for a short walk instead. Taking a small action is better than taking none, and it enables you to gradually work your way up to your goal. If you stumble along the way, just wait until you're ready and take the smallest action to build back up again. Most importantly, remember not to get caught up in your end goals. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Check out these other 2 videos. Thank you, and until next time.